interactive oceans arena a little bit later on in the day, when all of the others will be out of their pens as well. They really do enjoy sunbathing on sunny days like today. So the sea lions are making their way out. We have Anya at the top over there. If everybody can give her a big wave hello. Now she's about to do a very impressive 3-metre dive into the pool. We are very proud of our pool here at Blackpool Zoo. It's actually one of the largest saltwater pools of its kind in the UK. So the sea lions are very lucky to be able to enjoy it. Now you can see just how gracefully those sea lions can swim as they move through the water to the front of their beach. Now the rocks at the back of their enclosure do replicate the coastal rocky areas where they are found in the wild. Now everybody can give them a big wave now they're both up at the front of the beach. They're very excited to meet you. So we have Ruby who's closest to me, and then on the other side we have Anya. Now we're going to explain to you some of the differences between sea lions and seals. People often get confused between the two as they can look very similar, but they are different animals, so we will explain the differences to you today so that you don't get confused again. So one of the differences between sea lions and seals are actually their ears. So Shona's pointing out Anya's ear there. Sea lions actually have a small flap of skin that forms their outer ears, a little bit like our own earlobes. However, seals only have a tiny hole where their ear is, and this is covered with hair, so it's a lot harder to see a seal's ear. A second difference between sea lions and seals are their flippers. So I'm about to show you their large flippers that they have. Sea lions' front flippers are much larger than those of seals, and seals' front flippers are only roughly the size of a human hand, so a lot smaller in comparison. A third difference between sea lions and seals is actually how they move across the land. So Ruby's about to show you how a sea lion would move across the land. So because they have those large, powerful front flippers, they're able to lift their bodies up and walk very gracefully across the beach. They could even run if they wanted to, or climb as well. And they're both wanting to show you how sea lions move very gracefully. With their large front flippers, they are well adapted to life on land. However, seals move across the land very differently, and we're about to show you just how different this is. So because they don't have those large, powerful front flippers, they're not able to lift their bodies up off the land so easily. So instead, as you can see, they use their big tummies to help them to shuffle across the land instead. So it really is quite different. If everybody can give our sea lions a round of applause for demonstrating the differences between sea lions and seals today. So we do train our sea lions here at Blackpool Zoo with positive reinforcement and the target stick. So Shona's about to get the target stick out for you to see. It has a red ball at the top and a black stick. Now sea lions are actually colourblind, but they can tell the difference between the shade of the red ball and the black stick. And because they are very inquisitive animals, as you can see, they learn to touch their noses to the end of that target stick. And this means that Shona can ask the sea lions to move around their enclosure. So you can see Ruby is very happily following that target stick around. Now you might be hearing the whistle being blown a lot today during the demonstration. So when the sea lions have performed the correct behaviour, the whistle will be blown, and they will also receive a fish as a reward. So you might see them getting lots of fish as well. However, it is completely up to the sea lions whether they take part in their training, and if they don't, that is okay, and they will receive all of their fish later on in the day, so they don't miss out at all. After a while, Shona doesn't even need to use the target stick to train the sea lions, as she can just use hand signals instead, as you can see her doing now. So training is very important checks with the sea lions without the need for any restraints, and it's not at all stressful for them. So one of the first health checks she is doing is to check their mouths. So you can see all of Ruby's teeth there. Sea lions are born with white teeth, but because they eat lots of oily fish, their teeth can actually be stained black over time. So black teeth in sea lions doesn't always mean that their teeth are unhealthy. Another health check that we do is to check their flippers. This is important as sea lions use those flippers for so many different things. So it's very important to check them over for any signs of injury. And you can see again just how large Anya's front flippers are there. One of the most important health checks that we do is a full body check. So in a second, Shona's going to ask one of our sea lions to lie down on the beach so she can check over her whole body for any signs of injury. So Anya's just lying down on the beach there, and Shona's going to check for any cuts or lumps that she may have. And Ruby's wanting to do a full body check as well. And Shona can even ask the sea lions to roll over. And this would enable us to do an ultrascan to see if any of the sea lions were pregnant. There aren't any pregnant sea lions at the moment here at Blackpool Zoo, as they are a group of all females at the moment. If everybody can give the sea lions a round of applause for passing their health checks today. We do try to encourage our sea lions to perform as many natural behaviours here at the zoo as possible. And one of the ways that we do this is with hoops. So sea lions actually have amazing eyes and strong flexible necks. So with their forward-facing eyes and binocular vision, they can judge distance and speed. So they're able to move their necks to catch those hoops. That was very impressive, Ruby. We're now going to move this into the water and see if we can catch all of the hoops in there as well. So the water is where sea lions would naturally be hunting for their food in the wild. And they actually hunt for about 50 different types of fish, and things such as squid and octopus too sometimes as well. And they'll use their vision and their necks to help them to catch their food in the wild as well. And you're doing a great job catching all of those hoops in the water and bringing them back up onto the beach for Shona. So as well as their amazing eyes and necks, sea lions also have very sensitive whiskers. We are training the sea lions here at Blackpool Zoo to use these sensitive whiskers to balance a ball on the end of their noses. This is something that's very difficult to learn. It takes a very long time, but it's physically and mentally stimulating and challenging for the sea lions, so they really do enjoy it. It's also very important for them to learn, because in the wild, if the sea lions were hunting in darker waters, they can use their sensitive whiskers to help them to feel for the vibrations of the fish moving in the water so that they can catch their food. And as well, if they did have any injuries to their eyes, they can use their whiskers again to help them to catch their food. That was very impressive. Like I said, this is something that's very difficult for them to learn. They did a great job there using those sensitive whiskers to balance that ball. So even though sea lions eat lots of different types of fish, they are not actually top of the food chain, and they do have some predators. I'm not going to tell you what animal might hunt sea lions in the wild, but I'm going to ask you to take a guess in just a second. So Ruby is going to go into the water and she is going to demonstrate what animal hunts sea lions. And after the count of 3, I'd like you to shout out what animal you think this might be. 1, 2, 3. Not bad, Ruby's head is underwater there. You might have to try again a little bit louder so she can hear us. 1, 2, 3. That was much better. I think she definitely heard you that time. And you are correct. So in the wild, sea lions might be hunted by sharks. This can be tiger sharks, bull sharks, and even great white sharks as well. And just as Ruby did, if she came across any shark in the wild, she would come back up onto land if she could. However, there is is something else that sea lions can do if they did come across any predators in the wild. It's very impressive, and Anya's about to show you what this is. So what they would do is try and create as much movement as possible in the water, creating lots of bubbles there. So by doing something like backflips, this would really confuse any predators in the water and give the sea lions a few extra seconds to swim away. Now sadly there is another problem that sea lions do face in the wild, and this is plastic pollution. It really is a huge problem as it kills approximately 100,000 marine mammals each year. Shona is about to do something that we should never do, and she is going to put that plastic in the water. Luckily though, Ruby knows plastic definitely doesn't belong in the water, and she's going to bring it back up onto the beach. We do have over 100 bins here at Blackpool Zoo. If you are able to throw away all of your rubbish today, it will go a really long way to helping marine animals, the local wildlife, and also our animals here at the zoo as well. So Ruby has that plastic and she's going to put it in the bin. Even better, it's a recycling bin. If we give her a huge round of applause. So we are coming towards the end of our sea lion demonstration now. But our sea lions are going to do one final thing for you today, and that is a front flipper stand. So you never forget how large and powerful their front flippers are. This is very impressive. They're lifting up their whole bodies just using those flippers. If everybody can give the sea lions a big wave goodbye. And a huge round of applause. They've done an amazing job today. Thank you so much for coming and watching it, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed seeing the sea lions perform some of their amazing behaviours for you today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day at the zoo.